Snowmobiling has been my passion since my late teens. My love for the sport and ability gave me the opportunity to ride professionally in the sled films many watch to get pumped up to ride. In 12 years on the seat, I racked up nearly 20,000 miles across the mountains of Idaho, Washington, Montana, Utah, Colorado, and BC, Canada. In my last 5 years behind the handlebars, I was honored to display my passion in 7 unique snowmobile films. Then life slid out. While filming in McCall, Idaho, for 208 Productions for the movie Calculated Risk, I triggered a large avalanche that crushed me, nearly took my life, and changed my world forever. In 12 seconds, I went from hero to zero.
He's making weird noises, aren't you? No. He's breathing. He's breathing. He's knocked out, but he's breathing.
March 1st, 2009 was just supposed to be another film shoot. I'm just going to go shoot a film. I've done it how many ever times I've done it, and just an average day in the snow. In 12 seconds, I went from hero to zero, because from the time that avalanche fractured to the time I was smashed into the tree and buried, it was 12 seconds. And in 12 seconds, my life got changed in what appeared to be a disaster has turned out to be a beautiful thing in all reality. The man I am today is something I would trade for nothing. The reason I say zero is in the sense that I was helpless. I mean, I was in a coma, living on assistance of a machine, that's it. If they unplug the cord, I'm gone. So I'm zero in that sense. I think adversity can make us bitter or better. And I believe I chose better. And my kids get to benefit from that today, and so do my friends, and so do thousands of people that I speak to and get to have contact with. So the message that I share is honestly just ground level things we can all apply in our lives right now. It's not up here, it's down here. It's where we can it gets through to people, because I'm real. What you see is what you get, and I'm not some kind of high-powered guy in a suit and tie and dressed up spouting off about things. I'm just Matt, and I've had a life experience that taught me a lot. And I'd like to take my lessons and share them with you to make your life better. One of my best memories behind the microphone involved the high school crowd. I was speaking at Clarkston High School in Clarkston, Washington, and 760 kids in the auditorium. And I would be speaking, and if I paused for any amount of time, the place was completely dead silent, somber, and not a peep. And normally a group like that, high school kids, would be chit-chatting, screwing around, throwing paper airplanes, whatever it might be. But there's none of that. And even afterwards, the teachers commented they've never seen that. And I can say that nearly brought a tear to my eye, because I'd never seen that either. And after that event, I went home and said, wow, this message gets to them. I got to keep sharing it. I've had an opportunity through this whole thing to talk people through suicide, out of suicide. And that's been brought tears to my eyes more than once. The fact that they know how close I came to doing that at one point. And so they know that I get what they feel. I feel their pain, and I know what they're going through. And I can talk to them and help them feel there is light at the end of the tunnel, and there is reason to keep fighting. And I think that all of us make the mistake sometimes of wrapping up in focusing on the negative. And if you focus on negative, you'll find a lot of it. But the same thing goes for if you focus on positive, you'll also find a lot of it. And so I choose to not wrap my time and focus up on the negative, because that gets me nowhere. And so I think just helping people understand that, yes, there is negative in their life. There's negative in every life. But there's so much more positive that makes it worth living, worth fighting for, and worth going on. Probably one of the biggest things I share the most is simple. It's just, in fact, I had this phrase on a full-size sheet of paper on the inside of my binder at work before the avalanche even happened. It just said simply, focus on things you can change. It's amazing how many of us, including myself sometimes, we get wrapped up wasting time, wasting emotion, wasting energy on things we can literally do nothing about. And so I always say, what if we would harness that time, harness all the energy, all the effort, the passion, and focus it only on things we can impact? I literally believe that would change our life, because we would not waste time on things we cannot change. And the great business philosopher Jim Rohn once said that we all must face one of two pains: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And then he went on to say, the difference is discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. And that's so true, because once today is gone, it's gone. I can never come back to today. So I don't want to look back with regret tomorrow saying I wish I would have. I want to know that I did everything possible to make the best of today. I think there's so much truth in the fact that regret weighs tons. It's just so heavy because we cannot do anything to change it. So I think it's so key that we discipline ourselves to do what we know is right and not regret it later. I would say my mission in life is to leave a legacy. And in all reality, fame, fortune, investments, money, material things don't leave a legacy. Impact on lives leaves a legacy. And so my mission is to make a difference wherever I go. It's not about getting a paycheck for speaking. It's about looking across the crowd and seeing people truly engaged, and seeing tears flow, and seeing people where it hits them at a point in life when it reaches out and finds them. And that's one of the things that hangs with me the most is seeing the impact my message has on a high school and junior high school group. Because I've experienced that demographic is hard to reach. I used to coach high school basketball, and that demographic is very difficult to get through to. And so I found that a message like this, and the fact that I was a professional writer and had a lot of skill and ability, and they can see that on film, it gives me a platform to share a message, because they connect with extreme sports like right now. And so when they connect, they listen and they engage. And so by the time I get to bring my motivational message with that, I've got all eyes and all ears. You know, I've been around a handful of DJs or speakers or anyone behind a microphone that they get behind the microphone, all of a sudden this different voice comes out as if it's some kind of production. And I really try to shy away from that big time, in the sense that I want to just be able to connect with my audience. So the idea is that whether I have 3 people in the room or 3,000, I want to have a conversation with my audience. And that's the goal, because that will reach them. Where being high and mighty behind the microphone is going right over their head. And so I want to go eye to eye, face to face with my audience, regardless of the size, have a conversation.